guys? Thanks for tuning in to another week of Money Making Mirrors Picks. This is a good breakdown this week, man. We're gonna go over this UFC card that's coming up this week with Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. Well anticipated fight. Everybody's looking forward to seeing Conor after this long layoff, but I'm gonna give y'all a full breakdown of not every single fight, but a nice whip together ticket that I think is gonna make us some money this week. So I'm gonna start out with this Tracy Cortez and Wayne Kong fight, right? So this is a tough one. I do think this is something like a 50-50 fight, but an easy bet that I think for this one is will the fight go the distance? Yes. On most platforms it's like a minus 200 pick. Right now I do think that both women, if you go and review what they've done in the past, I'll say even 5 to 10 fights, they both have one loss coming by way of submission. But either one of them have not submitted anyone or they haven't knocked anyone out. All of their fights go to decision. So for it to be a minus 235, I feel like it's a layup, easy pick. So that's how we starting that card off right there. So for that one, if I was to pick a side, if I was to pick one winning money line or whatever, I think I would go with Tracy Cortez on this one. But like I said, the pick by Mirror this week is will the fight go the distance? Yes, for the Tracy Cortez and Wayne Kong fight. Next, we're going to get into the Cody Garbrandt and the Adrian Yanez fight. Now, listen, this was a hard decision for me because I am a Cody Garbrandt fan. For years, I've been a fan of Cody. I think Cody is one of the dogs of UFC in general. He's the epitome of a hard-nosed fighter, traditional style, But one thing about Cody, he does not like getting hit. Whenever he gets hit, he goes on a rampage and he goes to try to get his lick back immediately. So for this one right here, man, I don't think Cody is going to get knocked out. I'll say that to start. I think that he has wisened up a little bit. But I do think it's Adrian's time. I think Cody is always, always a puncher's chance. I always think he can go in there and get it done. He's one of the most physically gifted people in the division, always has been. Strong guy, solid, hits hard. But ultimately, I think Adrian is going to get the job done. I see this one going to decision. I think Adrian wins that one. But listen, the money line is a minus 430. Not the best odds, but I think I'm going Adrian Yanez to beat Cody Garbrandt by decision on that one. But on the contrary, if I want to be devil's advocate, if I see Cody winning this fight, I think it has to be a knockout. I don't think that he's going to beat him on. I don't think he's going to beat Adrian on the cards. So that's how I have that one. The next fight I have on this one is the Robert Whittaker and Nikita Krylov fight. Another hard decision, but I think Robert Whittaker is going to pull this one off this week. I always have been a Robert fan, man. Smart guy, tough, hard-nosed fighter as well. I see Robert going in there and getting the job done, potentially by way of knockout. That's another one too. But if I was to pick a bet, I would think it would be Robert Whittaker on the money line. That is a minus 128 pick. So, with me, I'm big on not being greedy. If it's something like that, as far as the odds, minus 128 is solid. We're going to make some money that way. So I got Robert Whittaker taking that one, money line. And like I said, if I could guess and predict how the fight is going to happen, I see it being the second round towards the very end. I say the last 40 seconds. I see Robert Whittaker catching him with something, one of those exchanges that we know we've grown to love from Robert. I think that he's going to exchange with him a little bit. And if he chooses to do that, I think that Robert's going to sneak something in there, drop him, potentially finish it on the ground. But I think it will be a TKO by Robert Whittaker. But my pick, though, is Robert Whittaker money line. Next, man, this is another one. I feel like, for one, let's talk about this card in general. This card was a hard one to decide on because, for one, there's a bunch of people that I love. So whenever I make these, you gotta remember, you gotta separate the emotions from who you think is actually going to win. Break down the actual odds. Go and break down each person's fight history and everything like that. So that's first and foremost. So for this one, man, Brandon Royval versus Kavanaugh. I'm a Brandon fan 100%. One of my current favorite fighters, not my favorite, but one of my current fighters that I do follow, I like. Him and Van was a tough fight. Van is a dude who I'm growing to love, man. Every fight, I've just become more and more a fan of the guy. But that was a tough fight where Van pulled it off, but everybody is not Van. Um, but this one right here, Kavanaugh is tough, man. He's on the streak. I just see Kavanaugh having a little bit too much for Brandon in this fight. I think that the ground game, I think that his grappling ability, everything as a whole, I just see it being trouble for Brandon. What Brandon wins a lot is because of his height and reach advantage that he has in most fights he goes into, because he's usually a taller guy, lengthier, longer reach, everything in that department. But I do think overall Kavanaugh would just have a little bit more tools in the toolbox. And ultimately, that one is a close one too with the odds, bro. That one, let me see. It was minus 220 for Kavanaugh. So if you think Brandon is gonna pull this off, then I would maybe put 2 tickets in, which to be honest, I may end up doing just to play it safe. But overall, I think Kavanaugh is gonna take this one, man. I think like I said, the grappling is gonna be a little bit too much for Brandon. I don't think it's gonna be a submission or anything, but I do think that overall it's gonna look like Kavanaugh's in control. I think he's gonna end up coming out on top of this one, even though I would love for my boy Brandon to bounce back and get a win here, but I just don't think it's gonna happen against Kavanaugh. He's on the streak. The next fight, another close one, another one that I had trouble picking on because I love both guys, man. We got Corey Sandhagen and Mario Batista. Tough fight, man. That for both guys. I mean, they both are gonna go in there and have to put their best foot forward and get the job done. Because if not, the other guy will pull it off. Corey Sandhagen, what do I got to say about the guy, man? He's a dog. Um, love everything about Corey when it comes to striking ability. He can grapple. I mean, he has everything. He checks all boxes. But Batista, you know, super dog. He goes in there, tries to take people's heads off. I think this fight will be no different. He goes in there. His grappling ability is like that. That is what I think is going to give some trouble out to Corey. But ultimately, I see Sandhagen winning this one. Like I said, I'm not here to pick. I'm not giving you picks on the exact method of victories, but I think Corey Sandhagen money line for minus 128 is what it is currently. Me looking money 142. I'm sorry. I think Corey Sandhagen is going to go in there and get us some money. And I wouldn't say he's going to go and do it easily necessarily, but I think he's going to make it convincing. This next fight we getting into, man, Paddy the Baddy, Pimplet versus Benoit Denise. That's a tough fight on both ends. Super, super, super tough fight. Paddy, of course, he went the distance with Justin Gaethje, who we just saw stop Ilya Tempori. Man, listen, that Ilya fight, I don't even want to talk about that right now. Ilya lost us some money that night, man. Oh my goodness. That fight, we had almost $10,000 on the line. It was all up to Ilya. And he went in there and he almost got it. He almost got the job done. He dropped Justin with a body shot. I thought it was done. If it was me personally, that fight frustrated me because I did not think that after he dropped Justin, should have went and tried to wrestle around. No, that was the time to listen. Stand up, make Justin go out on his shield, finish the fight. If you are going to go down to the ground, don't try to grapple around. I mean, I guess he tried to work his way to the full mount, but go there and immediately try to ground and pound and get him out of there. Do not wrestle and let him regain his senses. I felt like he was too advanced. He has too high an IQ to allow it to not be finished at that point. But anyway, that's here nor there. We're here to talk about Paddy the Baddy right now and how he lasted versus Justin Gaethje, who we saw, man, got hands of stone. Khabib said, listen, when they asked Khabib who did they think was the hardest puncher he ever fought, he said Justin Gaethje felt like he had concrete in his gloves. That's how hard he was punching. So for Paddy the Baddy, with the busted up face and everything, he went the distance with Justin Gaethje. I do think this one would be no different. But I will say, I don't think he's gonna win. I think that Benoit Saint Denis is gonna go in there and get the job done against Paddy, man. And Paddy is my boy. I love everything about Paddy, bro. But I don't think it's gonna be enough against Benoit. Simple. I watched both guys. I looked at a bunch of film on them. I just see Paddy not being enough for him, man. I think Paddy's gonna need more tools to get Benoit out of there. Benoit is a dog. He can grapple. He can fight. He can strike. He can do everything. So And I think he also is going to try to go get him a belt. I think he's going to try to keep going. He wants to be undisputed. He wants to take over the division. And I think that this is a great start for him to do so. So, my pick here, money line. Like I said, once again, I'm not here to pick method of victories. I will give y'all method of victories. Y'all know I'm not scared. We're not scared to make those kind of picks, but I want to put some money in y'all pockets. That's what it's about this week. So we're gonna go Benoit Saint Denis on this one. Money line. That's a minus 154 pick. Now for this next pick I'm gonna make though, I am gonna give y'all a couple options here and stuff like that because I do want to add some good value for it. And we're gonna get into the big one that I know y'all been waiting on. Y'all been waiting for me to talk about this one during this whole card. Y'all want to know what's going on with Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. I know already. But this one right here, bro, was another one where I sat down, man. I went in the bathroom, took a good hour, made a couple phone calls to some of my trusted buddies of mine, that are into this stuff just like me. And ultimately, you have the fanboys, you have the people who are just like Conor McGregor, the notorious and everything. Bro, listen. This is the fight business. This is not maybe you could do it in other sports, but it's not many sports that you can take five. We're talking about COVID. Let's sit here and think about COVID for a second. Let's think about us being in our homes for all of that time for a year plus of us just going to the supermarket. That's the only thing we did. Think about that, right? Think about how long ago that was. Think about everything that you have done as an individual in between now and COVID. COVID, right? And then sit and think about the fact that Conor McGregor has been out of the octagon since 2021. 2021, we have not seen Conor McGregor. Listen, we saw what he did against Cowboy, Cerrone. We saw all that. We also saw what happened with Dustin Poirier, right? And let me say this: the fight against Dustin Poirier was, to me, Conor was winning that fight. He was winning the fight before he had the leg injury. Let's start there. But one thing that I did notice was a change in Conor. We saw a Conor McGregor that completely switched up his style, not completely, but I think he went more for like a boxer's form and stance. And if you remember, he was getting leg kicked to hell, because his front foot was so forward, like a boxer. A boxer stance is a little bit different than an MMA fighter for the most part because typically you need that solid base to box. You know what I mean? So a lot of times your front leg if you're going orthodox, southpaw, whatever it is, your front foot is usually far up in comparison to an MMA stance. So basically, his leg was out there, easy to get leg kicks, which Max Holloway does a lot. And with the hands, bro, I think it's just going to be it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough because we know Max Holloway. We all know the famous, I'm the best boxer in the UFC. You know Max Holloway, the Hawaiian. You know what he does, so it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. So how I see this fight playing out, guys. I know y'all waiting on the official pick, but y'all probably know what it is. Max Holloway is going to get the job done. Sad to say, man, it brings tears to my eyes, but I just don't see Conor being able to come off of a 5-year layoff and come in his octagon and think that he's going to take something from Max Holloway. We saw the press conference, Conor McGregor doing his build-up. I love it, man. This is what we missed. This is the Conor that we missed, man. But is it going to be enough? Is a press conference a fight? It is not. So how I see this fight playing out. Remember, I'm saying this, right? It's going to be a few ways that this fight could play out. But in terms of our ticket that we picked, Max Holloway money line, I think it's going to happen because first round is going to be a little close. I do see Conor landing some shots because Conor is Conor. He's been working on his hands a lot. I see Max filling him out, getting a reach, which a lot of times also Max has a reach advantage, but maybe not against Conor because Conor has long arms for his height. But I see Max trying to gauge his distance, work the jab a little bit, which he is one of the UFC fighters that has a beautiful jab. Conor has one now too. I feel like that Floyd Mayweather fight made him better as a boxer because he had to go train boxing, obviously, and I think he continued to do that after the fight. But he always had good hands and feet. But I think Max is going to eventually start putting hands on Conor McGregor. First round is going to look like, okay, by the end of the first, I think we're going to see a couple shots. Be like, ooh, right? But that second round, this is where it takes a toll on you, right? He's been out of the ring, like I've been saying, out of the octagon. Eventually, by that second half of the second round, we are going to see Conor McGregor begin to slow down. I think it's going to be a conditioning issue. I think it's going to be, hey, listen, you know how my boy is. He's from Ireland, drinking that whiskey. He's been doing it he has his own liquor brand. You know what I mean? I think he's been testing his own supply quite a bit, as we've seen in the media and everything like that. Doing some other things too, but we're not going to talk about this on Mir's channel today. But I think it's going to be too much. That ring rust is going the octagon rust, I guess you could say for MMA, is going to be too much. Eventually, Max Holloway, his motor is going to show. The difference in condition is going to show. The difference of the person who's been consistently fighting and who has not is going to show. The accumulation is going to build up. And eventually, I think that Max Holloway is going to end up. It's going to show on Conor's face, man. I don't think Conor is going to quit. I think it's going to go potentially the distance. But I do think that Conor McGregor is going to look beaten. He's going to look defeated. Eventually, he's going to have to give Max Holloway respect. And remember, Max Holloway is here to get his lick back. He lost to Conor already before, man. So this is all about making up for it. And I'm going to give y'all a little boxing reference right here, man. I'm going to show y'all an example of what I mean by how this fight is going to go, right? A boxing match just happened a week ago. Jose Valenzuela versus Edwin De Los Santos, right? Rayo versus De Los Santos. De Los Santos knocked Rayo out a few years back, right? Finished him, stopped him, right? But this last week, you know what happened? Rayo came out in that fight against De Los Santos and end up stopping him, right? But most of it is because Edwin De Los Santos was not in the ring for like over a year. That was only a year. Came right back. Ring rust got him. He had a tough fight on his first fight back and got stopped by somebody who he knocked out just a few years ago, right? I think it's going to be very similar in this fight here. So the bet here is Max Holloway. Now, this one I am going to give y'all some method of victory. I'm going to add some value to this one. I don't see Max Holloway submitting Conor McGregor, but I see him beating Conor McGregor. How does he do it? Either by double chance. If you're on FanDuel, double chance bet is the bet here. We're going to pick Max Holloway double chance bet on a knockout or decision. So that's two options. The value is excellent. I think it's somewhere around like minus 100 something or 200, minus 190. Great pick, great value. I think this whole ticket put together was like $10 for like 222, somewhere around there. So hey, if you end up getting a profit boost, which I haven't seen any pop up yet, but soon they'll come out. Sometimes they do 50% profit boost, 30% profit boost. Crap, even a 20% one, we'll take that too. So that's the bet here, man. Max Holloway getting this victory. Now listen, if y'all want to be like me, like I'm gonna do, I always throw in a little just in case bet. I'm gonna pick a Conor McGregor money line bet on another ticket just in case, man. We've seen what been happening these few weeks. We've seen Khamzat lose to Strickland, which I still don't think he lost that fight. I still think he won. That lost us some money. We saw Ilya, who was the favorite, come out there, get battered by Justin Gaethje. Hey, it happens, man. Sometimes our favorites take L's. But this week, man, I'm pretty confident to say Max Holloway will make a lot of people sad tomorrow night. Just be prepared, man. Remember, Mir said it first, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to Money Making Mir. Stay tuned. I have a lot of great picks coming up. July 18th, there's a huge boxing card coming up. We got Diego Pacheco on that one. You know, it's a lot of different bets on there. I think we'll be making a lot of money next week, too. So stay tuned, man. I have a few other announcements to make coming soon. Like, subscribe. Don't ever forget to do that, man. Send the channel out. I know y'all want to see our friends and family eat. Last week, we went 7 for 7. 7 for 7 on all my picks. Go look at my channel, man. Abdullah Mason card for boxing. Y'all see what I said about it. Hey, some of the methods. Hey, I did say money lines for that ticket, but I did give y'all some methods. But I did say, if it was the money line, all of them came out exactly how I said it. This week will be no different, man. I have a great feeling that we'll be making us some money this week, man. Stay tuned.